Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm going to show you how I installed my baby gate at the top of my stairs here. My attitude towards baby proofing is pretty minimal. I think you let the kids get hurt if it's not going to maim or kill them. And that way they learn that certain surfaces are hard and some others are soft, and they just need to learn what's what about the world. But nonetheless, I do have a baby gate here because I saw this as a potential risk to our little one who is moving around quite a bit now. So my unique challenge here is there's lots of videos out there on how to install baby gates at the top of stairs, and there's lots of products out there that say they're for that purpose. But you can see here, I have a unique sort of situation here. I've got this iron railing that comes over this middle landing. I live in a bi-level house, and the baby gate, as you can see, is too tall for the railing. It's only about an inch, maybe a couple inches off the ground, but you can see where it actually latches at the top here is it's too tall for the rail. So I had to make some kind of custom modifications here. You can see with the 2x4s that I'll walk you through, and I'll get into the details of that in a minute. About this baby gate, you can see here it's the North States Super Gate Easy Swing and Lock Gate. It's model number 4950. Found it on Amazon. I can't remember the exact company that I bought it from, but it was from Amazon. I think it was like $60, something in there. Looked to be the one for my needs, but like I said, my fear came true about that. You can see this lady's gate she's got a situation where she has enough height to mount that latch where I didn't. So I got a little bit different situation from her. But anyway, what else was I going to say? The pros about this gate, I was going to say the pros and cons. I like it because it's pretty easy to operate. You just throw your thumb on this, that pushes that latch down. You can see that movement there. And then you just lift up to lift that latch, and there's the same one on the bottom, out of that cup. And then it'll swing open. This actually can swing either way, which is good. So it's versatile to whatever your layout is. And I also like this one because it just swings completely out of the way and it stays. Let's see, it's an attractive gate. The color matches my railing, so it kind of blends in. Other than that, it's a pretty sturdy gate. Other than I think the latch feels a little bit cheap. You can see the latch is nice and that thing's latched. But I just don't, I feel like this plastic thing is just going to break on me eventually. But you can see it closes nice and clean. So it should be pretty easy to use. And like I said, you can swing it out of the way when you just want it out of your hair, and you can move through easily. And then it's pretty versatile in terms of you can adjust it once you've got it in place. There's lots of room to adjust. If you don't have a perfectly square opening here, like I'm sure mine is not perfectly plumb on the left and right, but yeah, you can adjust all four corners to make it fit just right. And then I think let's see, this actually adjusts from 28 inches to 48 inches, so you can use it for a good amount of different layouts, and depending on how your house is, you can use it in a number of areas. Other than that, the cons, I think, were the install was somewhat difficult. You got to be a little bit handy, know how to use a screw gun, and I obviously had to cut some lumber, so just basic tool knowledge. And I'm not an expert carpenter by any means, but it took me 2 to 3 hours, I think, to finally put this together. And other than that, the instructions weren't very good. I didn't think, it seemed like there were a few steps that seemed unnecessary or there are better ways around how they said to do it. And then the template they give you, you can see here with the A and B on it, it's for marking your hole locations for placing the hinges and the latches. I used the template to lay it out, and not everything lined up, so I had to move them. So maybe I did something wrong, but it seemed like the dimensions were a little bit off, or it just didn't give me the perfect layout. So anyway, I think I'm happy with the gate overall. It's a pretty good product, I believe. So the tools I used, a number of different screw lengths, wood and decking screws. Those are some plastic shims. I'll show you how I use those. The instructions, the little wrench that came with the gate. You could use your own wrench and it'd probably be a lot better, but that's just to use to adjust the gate when you're done. The template, utility knife, pencil to mark the holes, little torpedo level. You can use a 4-foot level if you want to be a little more precise. These are bungee cords, sorted lengths, that I'll show you how I use those for my unique case here. Impact driver and a regular drill. That is a tape measure, of course, and a Phillips screwdriver, and just a bucket of tools that you never know what you're going to need. I like carrying that around because it's got a bunch of stuff that I don't necessarily have to run to the garage for if I need a random tool for some unique thing that comes up. Okay, let's see, rough opening. So like I said, I had to put some lumber in place. I'll start on this side here. As you can see, I really didn't need this lumber here. I could have just gone right into the king stand. Okay, I'm back online. I had a battery die, so now I'm on the live power feed here, direct connection. All right, so like I was saying, this lumber, this 2x4 here, I didn't necessarily have to use this, other than that. See, I got this base at the bottom here that is a little bit obtrusive to where that hinge mounts. That hinge mounts really low, so you can see I would have had to mount it to the base if I didn't kind of stand off it like I did here. This right here is just a piece of cedar fence plank that I cut to size to match the 2x4 width, and that just holds that 2x4 off the wall a little bit, and you can see that gives me a nice surface to mount that bottom hinge to, as well as the top. I used a 3.5-inch decking screw, and I just used 3 of them to mount that whole thing right into the walls of hit these studs here on the opening into my kitchen here. So that was the easy one. This side took a little more, I don't know, just ingenuity, or just thinking of how to do it. It took me a long time to figure out how exactly to do this, and really I just kind of started building it, and it just kind of came to be what it is. But it's same exact height or length as the other 2x4. On this side, though, I put another piece of cedar plank just to allow. You can see it's kind of hard to explain, but this rail on the top sticks out farther than this. So you can see I've got this doesn't touch. So all this does is holds the whole thing an even amount off of the face of this iron. So that's the only way I could get it plumb. There she is right now. She's coming down to try out the gate. But anyway, and then the only other thing I added to this was these are just pieces of plastic shim that hold this whole assembly tight, and they don't allow it to move any further than where it is, so it holds it plumb. I've got these elastic bungee cords that are holding this in place. That way I didn't have to screw anything into this iron and eventually have holes in the iron that are not as easy to patch as drywall. So I've got to maybe think about this a little more. Maybe I'll either add some bungee cords or figure out a different fastening system that won't abuse my iron. But you can see I've got a little bit of movement here. that, you know, I don't think my daughter can push that hard, and it, you know, I can only really move it when I get it up top here where I've got leverage, and she's not tall enough to reach that and put much strength into it. So for my purposes right now, I think it's going to hold pretty well, unless she gets really strong or figures out a way to you know, undo these. But again, she's like 10 months old, so I think I've got a little bit of time to figure that out. But anyway, that was the most complicated part of this install. I think I ended up with about a 34-inch opening, which was right in the middle of the capacity of this thing going small to big. What else can I tell you? So then, just once you got the rough opening complete, the install of the gate was pretty easy. Like I said, that template is what I used to. You just hold it up on the surface you're going to mount to, mark the holes, and then pop these hinges on. But like I said, it was once I got them on and hung the gate, I realized I needed to adjust one. And same thing on this side. Once I had the hinges on and the gate swinging, where the template showed my holes to be, made this latch much too high, so I had to raise it up a little bit to make it in line with where it needs to be for that peg to come in there and lock. So like I said, I just had to move that, and then once I had that one in and the gate swinging, I just eyeballed where this one needed to mount and screwed that one into place. And like I said, then the last part was the adjustment, which is a nice feature of this, that you just got these, there's just a nut. You can untwist this portion. It's like basically an eye bolt that threads into the gate on this end, and you can screw that out to make it longer or shorter. Kind of fine tunes the width of the gate, and then that nut locks it down so it doesn't move on you later. All four corners have those, so you can get these pegs to the exact length you need to where they fit and drop down into the cup. I don't know how well you can see that, but that was the last step. Once it was adjusted, it seems like it's holding pretty sturdy. You know, there's a little bit of play in it, but not a whole lot. Feels strong enough for a 1-year-old. I think we're going to be pretty happy with it. Like I said, just one hand operation, and swings out and it stays open. It'll go all the way. Actually, should almost. The way I actually got this to do that was, this is kind of just a little tip. This hinge I mounted more towards, if I can point the right way, I mounted more towards this way, which took the gate a little bit out of plumb, but that makes it so the gate tends to want to swing out and not back in. So when we just want this thing out of the way, it just kind of it just opens on its own into the wall, nice and out of the way. I don't know what else to say. It's a pretty good gate. Happy with it overall. Should keep our little girl safe and confined when we don't want her to run downstairs. We're gonna just get a couple pressure gates to keep her out of the kitchen, because there's lots of gross food from the day before that she can crawl in there and put in her mouth. So that's our baby proofing plan. We don't use we don't protect corners on tables or anything like that, or probably put some electrical outlet protectors on the outlets, but other than that, we'll let her figure the world out. And you know, that's kind of our attitude towards baby proofing. This is about as far as we go here. Hey, just one thing I forgot to mention. I modified this a little slightly, or a little bit more than how it came. And I mentioned this, you know, we wanted this to swing all the way to the wall. Well, if you look closely at the hinge, it's kind of hard to see, but each side of the hinge has this little lip that comes out, and that on this side, and the side that I'm swinging towards, prohibits the gate from opening a full 90. I'm trying to get closer and focus so you can see, but all I did was I took a utility knife and I shaved. I'll open it this way. I shaved this edge down so it wasn't sticking out as far, to where it wasn't blocking. I know it's hard to see, but see, now I can get that all the way open instead of that blocking where you see the threads. So just one last tip that helped make this a little bit better, a little more convenient. So, all right, good luck. Hope you guys, hope this helps somebody out there with a similar situation. All right, take care.